Hey guys, so for this video I'd like to introduce you to something I've been working on for the last few months, which is a new type of video, which I'll call the What If series, where we'll pick apart a book or series or movie and we'll discuss some changes that could have occurred in the plot and what effect they would have had. So for example, for this video I'll discuss the character Sam in Lord of the Rings, and what would have happened if he didn't accompany Frodo on his journey to Mordor. So now, since this is a new series, I'd appreciate any feedback, any tips you might have, or any changes to the format, because this is my idea of what I should present, but if you think there are ways I could improve upon it, I'd be very glad and eager to hear. Now Sam joins Frodo in Hobbiton when Gandalf pulls him from under the window, and from then on, they were given their journey to Bree and eventually Rivendell. So for this part of their journey, I think Frodo could have managed without Sam. First of all, eventually Merry and Pippin join him, whom would have given him company, and later on in Bree, Aragorn himself joins them on the way. Sam didn't really save him at Weathertop or throughout the journey. However, at one point in the films, when the Nazgul attack and are looking for the ring in the Shire, they pass by Frodo who's hiding, and Frodo's about to put on the ring and Sam stops him, which technically saved him, because if he put on the ring, it would have alerted the Nazgul to his presence and they'd have caught him and basically given the ring back to Sauron. But this only occurs in the movie. Thus, I think up to Rivendell, Sam didn't play a very prominent role, apart from maybe raising Frodo's morale slightly. So now we have the second part of the journey, when they reach Rivendell and the Fellowship is chosen to protect Frodo. So now I'm going to divide it up till the start of the Fellowship and the breaking of the Fellowship, and throughout this part, again, I don't think Sam played a very prominent role, because Frodo had the Fellowship to help him, he had Gandalf and Aragorn to guide him, and Sam was always that guy at the back to offer him support. So physically, I think Frodo would have managed to survive perfectly fine. However, after Gandalf, arguably, Sam was the person who was closest to Frodo. So I think after Gandalf died, fell down with the Balrog, Frodo would have needed Sam for moral support, for his mental well-being, and I don't think that can be underestimated, that Frodo needed that shoulder to lie on. Now I'm going to move on to the third segment, which is basically when the Fellowship is broken and Sam and Frodo leave alone. So this part is going to be from that moment to the end of the third film, basically. So from this point on, Sam's role increases profoundly. In fact, at the start of the second film, he helps the fight of Gollum. He restrains him with the rope and holds him down. However, I think even if Sam wasn't there, I think Frodo would have managed to do this anyway, albeit that, it would have been much harder task. So for part of their next journey, things seemed to be going well. They had Gollum to guide them, Gollum even saved Frodo in the Dead Marshes, and things were going well. And then they meet Faramir and his rangers. So now in the books, Faramir actually figures out that Frodo is carrying the ring, but he is aware of the ring's danger, and he allows Frodo, Sam and Gollum to go on. However, in the film he kidnaps them after finding out that Frodo has the ring, and he'd want to give it as a gift to his father. He then takes them to Osgiliath, which is the old capital of Gondor, which is currently under siege by orcs and Nazgul. And in this area during the siege, in the films, Frodo is drawn on top of a bridge and he's holding the ring in his hand as a Nazgul slowly approaches to grab him, and Sam pushes him away and saves him, which again basically saves Frodo and saves the entire quest, because the Nazgul would have acquired the ring. Moments later, you could argue that he saves him again, because he gives a speech about the good in the world and how it's worth fighting for, which clearly touches Faramir greatly, and it helps convince Faramir to let them go, even though it will reflect badly on him with his father. And thus I feel that Sam, in the films, he played a big part in helping the ring on his journey, because otherwise Faramir would probably have still taken Frodo to his dad. Gollum then leads Frodo and Sam to the Winding Stair, right before Shelob and Tir Ungol. So now here there's a bit of a debate, because as we know, Gollum betrays Frodo, he tries to kill him by sacrificing him to Shelob. However, one must ask, would he have still done this if Sam didn't bully him across the journey? Sam always distrusted him, was always rough to him, rude to him, and I'm sure that affected Gollum's self-perception and the way he felt. Now, one might say that the real big push into Gollum turning bad again was what he thought was Frodo's betrayal with Faramir, when Frodo told him that he'd be safe if he follows him, and Faramir's rangers kidnap him and basically put a bag on his head, and maltreat him. Thus, though it's not an easy decision, I think Gollum would still have betrayed them, because most of the negative environment he had was coming from Sam and not Frodo, and Sam maltreating him might actually have made him appreciate Frodo being kind to him more, and thus I think that what he thought was Frodo's betrayal was the real big motivation, despite Sam being cruel to him. Now at this point, Frodo enters Shelob's lair, and he's eventually poisoned and incapacitated by her. And then Sam finds Sting, which is Frodo's sword. He fights off Shelob and actually wounds her grievously, which in turn saves Frodo because she'd have eaten him. And again, he takes the ring from Frodo because he thought Frodo is dead, and he'd go to continue the journey on his own. Now this shows that apart from saving Frodo directly, he also saved the people of Middle-earth, because the orcs would have looked at and looted Frodo's body, that have found the ring, and would have been returned to Sauron. Now these particular orcs, Sam actually hears them saying that Frodo is alive. He finds out that Shelob only stuns her prey so she can eat them later, and this causes him to enter Tir Ungol and free Frodo. So we can easily say that this is another time that Sam saved Frodo. Now at this point, he returns the ring to Frodo, and though it's not really relevant for this video, I'd like to point out that he's actually the only ring bearer to freely give up the ring without external intervention or encouragement. So for the rest of their journey through Mordor, Sam is there, for moral support, to help Frodo when he can, and he actually carries Frodo up to Mount Doom when Frodo collapses. Now I think this is the last time where he has a huge effect on the quest. Despite this, as you know from this video, we've mentioned easily about 6-7 times that Sam was crucial into the quest actually succeeding or moving on, and these weren't small things, mind you, they were huge. So I don't think we can underplay his part. Also, for this part of their journey, I focused mainly on the physical aspect of him saving him, while I didn't mention much till now about the huge moral help that he was. That for me, Sam was the idea of hope to Frodo, the idea of the Shire, of purity, of home. He was a constant reminder to Frodo that there was still good of what they were fighting for, what they were trying to achieve. He was like a reminder to Frodo of how things were before the ring, and I think that helped Frodo remain good and not get corrupted by the ring. It helped to delay it, it helped to him fight it off. On this, Tolkien actually expressed in one of his letters how Sam is almost the true hero of Tolkien's story, because without him and his care and love for Frodo, the journey would have ended so much sooner. That he was what was necessary. He was that huge push for Frodo. So considering everything we've mentioned, to wrap it up, one must ask the question of, would Frodo have reached Mount Doom without Sam's help? And on this, I think the answer is an obvious no. I mean, we've mentioned so many times that were crucial, and apart from, the physical damage and physical times he saved Frodo, I think Frodo would have succumbed much earlier to the ring, and that would basically have doomed the people of Middle-earth anyway. So this basically ends the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you have any feedback, if you'd like me to change the format or the way it's presented or the things I consider, or if you think I didn't consider some things or I should add some things, or if I left out something, please tell me. I enjoy hearing and it helps, even for future videos. I'll adjust my format. I'd like to improve on what I create, make it a better medium to put forth this information or my ideas. As always, thank you. If you like this video, feel free to leave a like, and if you're new, if you want to see more of this content, subscribe. Thanks as always, and I hope you have a great day.